Now, finally, today, President Biden met with 3 U.S. winners of the 2022 Nobel Prize, Dr. Carolyn Bertozzi, who won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, Dr. John Clauser, who won the Nobel Prize in Physics, and Dr. Douglas Diamond, who won the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences. The president is restarting an important tradition that just like he does for winning sports teams, as you have seen him do in the past 20 months or so, the president meets with U.S. winners of the Nobel Prize, expand the boundaries of what is possible. Their work is a reminder of why President often says that America can be defined by one word, and you all know that word that he uses is possibilities. With that, I'm going to go out of school for a second.
And on the sanctions relief for Venezuela, why is it that President Biden would rather let U.S. companies drill for oil in Venezuela than here in the U.S.?
That's not an accurate take on the president's view.
Earlier this month, he said no more drilling. There is no more drilling.
The president has issued 9,000 permits for drilling on U.S. federal lands, Peter, 9,000 of them being unused. There are plenty of opportunities for oil and gas companies to drill here in the United States. I'll let Chevron speak for this particular issue of sanctions relief, but our expectation is it won't be a lot of oil coming out of there. It'll all have to be shipped to the United States.
Does the president think there's some benefit to the climate to drill oil in Venezuela and not here?
No, it has nothing to do with a benefit to the climate, Peter. Again, there are 9,000 unused permits here in the United States on federal land that oil and gas companies can and should take advantage of. 9,000. And we're talking about one there in Venezuela. Now, look, it remains to be seen how much will get drilled down there. It'll be up to Chevron to decide that, Peter. But as a function of the sanction itself, that oil, whatever product is drilled, has to come to the United States.
As you know, President Biden committed to doing everything within his power to address Putin's price hike at the pump. Today, gas prices have returned to the levels they were prior to Putin's invasion of Ukraine. As the chart behind me shows, the national average is $3.55 per gallon, down over $1.45 per gallon from the June peak. The most common price is $2.99 per gallon. That's saving American families with 2 cars about $160 per month on average. President Biden has been releasing oil from the reserve, as you know, which was a historic action that this president took. Today, President Biden met with 3 U.S. winners of the 2022 Nobel Prize, Dr. Carolyn Bertozzi, who won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, Dr. John Clauser, who won the Nobel Prize in Physics, and Dr. Douglas Diamond, who won the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences. In the past 20 months or so, the president meets with U.S. winners of the Nobel Prize. Korea, ROK, the vice president will visit the DMZ. Nearly 70 years since the Korean armistice, the visit will underscore the strength of the U.S.-ROK alliance. And nearly 70 years since the Korean armistice, you think about the Infrastructure Reduction Act. That's going to create jobs, bring manufacturing back home. You think about the Infrastructure Reduction Act. That's going to create jobs. On Xinjiang that was released just last night. The United States welcomes this report, this important report, which describes authoritatively the abhorrent human, there is no shortage of opportunity or incentive for oil companies to ramp up production. We've made that clear. Oil companies are ranking in record profits, as we have seen. They have showed it themselves. We've seen it ourselves. Clear. Oil companies are ranking in record profits, as we have seen. They have showed it themselves. We're giving them further incentive to increase production. Of course, we refrain the flexibility to replenish at any market price, but we wanted to clearly signal to producers that we will continue the market, to support the market in this price range. We refrain the flexibility to replenish at any market price. Can confirm they will consult on a variety of issues, of key issues, including opportunities to deepen Israel's regional integration and ways to advance equal measures of freedom, prosperity, and security for both Israelis and Palestinians. Equal measures of freedom, prosperity, to be listening to the people who live there who have lost so much. He's going to be talking to the respondents on the ground who have been done tremendous work. As you know, the FEMA administrator will. He's going to be talking to the respondents on the ground who have been done tremendous work. And I would refer you to the United Kingdom government on the border logistics of the Queen. On the border logistics of the may apply for asylum in the United States and have their claim adjudicated on a case-by-case basis. That's how we see our role here and our part in this. And have their claim adjudicated on a case-by-case basis. That's the pipeline of Nord Stream 1. So the sanction we've imposed, we believe, do stand in the way of the European gas shortage will be full.